Bonus Action Heroes, where a bunch of neurodiverse assholes play D&D. This week is Curse of Strahd, where I do my very best to kill my best friends.
Yeah, we're a few neurodiverse assholes down this week.
They are?
I did a weird arm thing and I've hurt my shoulder.
Oh.
Brilliant example, thank you.
I also feel bad because we go in a bunch of neurodiverse assholes, and then I'm like, we don't know Tom is neurodiverse.
One of us.
Highly likely he's one of us.
We shouldn't
Full
self-diagnose
spectrum.
as others, but
I have to have... Good, sorry.
No, I was just going to move on. So Tom isn't on the spot doing therapy online.
Yeah, I'll have to. Yeah, well, go back and explain to me what all this means. And then it's going to turn rapidly into a therapy session, a group therapy session.
So last time you, what did you do? You had just finished fighting all of the druids in this winery, helping out the Martikov family, who have members of which have previously helped you out. The winery had been taken over by a load of druids and a variety of blights, vine blights, twig blights, etc. And then you had to face the challenge of actually leaving when there were loads and loads and loads of blights still inhabiting the winery. Mick, who picked up the staff of one of the druids, revealed he was able to give them commands, and you managed to mostly avoid combat with them by him telling them to leave. Where they've gone, you don't know. And then you met back up with the Martikov family. They explained that the druids were motivated to take over their winery because they have 3 gems which they were gifted generations ago, which enable them to grow vines, although the climate shouldn't allow that sort of thing to flourish. But one of those gems was taken a couple of years ago. One of those gems was taken a few months ago, and most recently, in the last week, the last one was taken by the druids, and they have asked you to go to Yester Hill, where the druids make their home, in the hope that you can retrieve that gem so that they can continue to at least make one of their wines and not lose their livelihood, which you have agreed to. You also, in that vineyard, met a new person, Magus, Tom, who has basically come along for the ride. He was drawn there by this staff that Mick has, gives him the heebie-jeebies, but Mick didn't want to part with it, and that was Mick's decision. Have I missed anything?
I don't think so.
So, Absence had more nightmares.
Absence had more nightmares, and his hit points were
Starting
reduced
to look a bit rough. Yeah. Is it worth us just saying who we play?
Sure.
What we are?
Go for it. Matt, take the lead.
That's why I'm slightly red today.
And
I play Absence.
Sorry,
No,
Jim.
you can't.
I just wanted to really quickly interject that Tom's webcam is on the stream and he's not pro webcam use.
Well, I've messaged Tom and asked if he wants me to turn it off, or he can leave it on and I can turn it off.
I didn't see Messenger, sorry, I just asked on the Discord chat. Sorry, man.
On the what?
Discord chat. I asked if they could not put me on. Sorry, mate, I didn't.
That's alright, I got a lot of windows open.
Sorry, I just had to interject and bring that question up because
It's alright, Hazel had already messaged me.
Yeah, thank you. Sorry, everybody.
Whilst Matt is doing that, don't apologise, absolutely fine. Jim, would you like to start us off with who you're playing and what they look like and their class, etc.?
I'm playing a Spirits of College of Spirits bard. That's how you say it. He's an Eladrin named Darzin. He's Vistani, so he wears a lot of. Well, I don't know. He kind of looks kind of like what you would expect from a lot of the old artwork. Like he's very kind of like rough and tumble and not exactly. He's also been in there for 300 years, so he doesn't exactly look well maintained. He's probably only got the one change of clothes, but he likes to wear a lot of purple, and he's on the hairier side for an elf. And because all of my characters have to have beards in some capacity.
Gilmore vibes.
It is literally Gilmore fan art.
Thank you.
Uh,
Tom?
I also
Oh, no,
interrupted.
sorry.
I also interrupted Matt. So
I don't know
Alright.
when he's. I don't know what he's doing
oh
with
yeah,
the
okay.
stream and stuff, so I was just going, yeah, and Tom, and we'll do Matt last.
Alright, I'm Tom. I play Magus, who, when you can see them through the pipe smoke, looks like a gnarled, dehorned, dwarf-like creature with plant matter growing out of all sorts of orifices.
Very nice. Hazel.
So I play Alexander, who is our pretty boy, early 20s half-elf, who generally is just always about to cry himself to sleep or pass out from pure fear and terror. But he tries his best and is doing really well, and we're very proud of him.
I really
And
appreciate
right.
the early 20s bit, like his dating profile.
It's
Well,
kind
early
of
20s in Elvish is probably early
pretty young.
120s.
He likes reading and going for long walks.
yeah, he's of the not so straight persuasion, and prefers older men with darker hair. Pretty much, he was in love with our old cleric. Our cleric died. Alexander doesn't know what to do with himself anymore. He's just a broken man. But yeah, I think part of it, he is only a boy. He's only a boy. Okay, I'll shut up now. Sorry.
Side note, for when we're just hanging out, I think we should make dating profiles for all our characters. Anyway, Matt.
Yes.
I don't think Absence would have a dating profile. She's interested in that kind of thing. I am playing Absence, who is a tiefling way of Tranquil Affliction, which is a homebrew monk class. He is unfortunately, it seems, cursed and has already died once in Barovia and made a deal which probably was not in his best interest. But yeah, he has burning fiery red eyes and seems to be looking more haggard and monstrous as time goes by. And he wasn't so great to start with. He's got red skin, black horns, and pointy ears, and a shaved head.
Or absent. And
Yeah.
finally, we also have Mick, who is played by Nick. That never gets confusing. Who is a Verdan warlock, who is not joining us tonight, but Jamie will be controlling because I'm scared you're going to die. Because when we left off, you were on your way to Yester Hill, which I will bring up a picture of. So you've just got to the tree line, so you're still hidden if you wish to be. And I suppose can discuss where you would like to go from here. Tom, just for reference, this is very familiar to you, just in case you don't remember. You're nodding, so that bodes well. Here it is.
Well, there's the hell. I told you I knew where it were.
You set off after staying the night at the Martikovs. You set off in the morning, and then Tom managed to lead you as the crow flies through the woods rather than taking the road, so it's still probably just before noon by the time you get there.
I think as we walk, I think Absence will try and talk to Alexander on his own. And he will probably just walk up alongside him, looking down at the ground, looking at his feet as he walks. And he will probably spend about 5 minutes there, not saying anything, but looking as if he wants to.
If Alexander spots Absence acting this way, he'll be like, "And how are you on this fine day, Absence?"
Not feeling great, but do you remember? Feels like years ago, but I think it was days ago we first got here. Do you remember what Cedric said to us?
Cedric said a lot of things.
He said that, I'm thinking about this a lot. He said that this place, if you're not careful, turns you into monsters. Do you think I'm turning into a monster?
Not really.
I got treated like one anyway when I was a kid.
Why? Is there anything that makes you think that you are turning into a monster?
Look at me.
Yeah?
Every time we meet anyone new, they either run screaming or... I did some things in Barovia.
I think that says more about them than it does about you.
Does it though? I went to Barovia and I found the parents of all those children who got sold for pies.
At that point, Alexander just stops walking. He just stops dead in his tracks.
I'll stop as well. I found every one of them. Tracked them all down. They weren't even sorry.
What did you do, Absence?
Squeezed every gold coin out of them and took it to the orphanage. Before I set a few on fire as well. That wasn't intentional, but just couldn't help it.
You set them on fire?
I didn't mean to. I had a dream about you. And I set you on fire.
Well, as far as I'm aware, Absence, you've never set me on fire. What? Tell me,
that's the
Myrtle's
thing.
parents.
What if I do? What if I do?
Myrtle's parents?
Did I what?
Did you see Myrtle's parents?
Yeah.
What did you do to them, Absence?
Live. Maybe a bit burned. I stopped them dying, but I basically told them to never ever show their faces in her life again. I took every coin they had.
And with that, Alexander will throw himself at Absence in a hug. Thank you. They are not parents if they sell their children. This may not be a brilliant place to live, but they had family and they turned their family away. You
sold them for
stood up
food.
for those orphans who have no one.
I didn't kill them, but I really wanted to.
Who would not? What they did was nothing short of murder. They are murderers of children.
You've seen me do the... Must be from my father. You've seen me do the fire.
Since
It's just started happening. I don't even...
No. Absence, I have feared you. But not because of who you are. I know that you can't help it. I know that this is not you. And anyone who spends more than a moment with you will know that too.
Maybe
I'm
I can
sorry.
help it, and I don't really want to. What if that's true? What if I'm just letting out what's in there already? What if I always was a monster, and they just knew before I did?
I'm not sure that's how it works. If you were a monster, why are we still here? Why are we still with you?
Should have heard the things I said to them. I was really cruel.
You were dealing with such anger.
Not an excuse. I know I died in the windmill, and I made a deal. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm alive. That was the stupidest thing I've ever done in my life.
What deal did you make?
To come back and finish what needed to be finished.
And what is it that needs to be finished?
Well, I think I did it, but I'm still paying cost.
I think there's going to be a lot here that never truly leaves us. And I think that it's a chance for you to find that you are more than you believe yourself to be.
I don't even feel anything anymore. And he'll take a little knife out and just stick it in his hand, and I'll happily take a hit point, and his face will just be passive.
Can Alexander try and like intercept that or something? Like he's not okay with that.
Sure. Do you want to do contested decks?
Sorry, I'd muted to let you. Yeah, if you want to do contested decks, it's fine with me.
Rogue Monk decks off. Ooh. I guess you just stop me just as it's about to go into my hand.
He'll reach for it, but he'll end up grabbing the blade, so now he's bleeding slightly. Which is probably not going to help your guild, but it's not
No, I'll
help
drop the
him.
knife. See? I did it again. I think it's better if I just, after this,
Absence.
whatever this is, I need to be far away from you.
Absence. This was my choice. So I do not want you hurting yourself.
That's
Because
the point. It doesn't hurt anymore.
Despite the colour of your skin and the fire in your eyes, I do not believe you to be a bad person.
You didn't hear what I said to them. I was
And
so
I'm
cruel.
sure I would have said far worse.
Myrtle's parents were even remorseful. That's the word.
Well, they should never have let it happen in the first place. Being remorseful after the fact, they've done nothing about it.
At least those kids have got some money now. I squeezed some out of the ones whose kids died as well.
The children that are alive have somewhere to live, and all we can do is our best by them, and you are providing for them. Maybe not in the most ethical of ways, but we are not in an ethical place. And you have done good by me and good by the rest of the group since the day I met you. And so far, the person who judges themselves or judges anyone the most by how they look is you about yourself. Now, despite the colour of your skin the fire in your eyes, and the horns upon your head. You are not a bad person, and you can make decisions. So start making those decisions. The same way every time I see a fight, I want to run in the opposite direction. I'm doing the best not to do that.
Yeah, I wish I was as strong as you. You don't think you are, but you're the strongest of all of us since Cedric.
Very much doubt that.
No,
But
because
I'm
you are
trying-
terrified and you do it anyway.
Because I'm trying to prove myself wrong. The same as you're trying to prove yourself wrong, Absence.
If you think I've just lost perspective, I just need you to tell me. And I'm straying. That's why I stayed along my own all those years. I guess I always knew it was in there. This place is just letting it out. I'm letting it out. I can't blame it on this place. Cedric said this place turns people into monsters.
And I wish Cedric was here now because he would know exactly what to say to you.
Okay.
I'm not good at this talking, Absence. But I trust you. And you see that thing flying around? The little demon that has done nothing but help us. Trust him too. It doesn't matter what people look like. It doesn't matter of what they are born. What matters is why they do something. Not always what they do. Now you went
If I
after
kill
the
someone
lion.
for a good reason, that's okay.
Do you know what? Yes. We've killed many people. But it is either in self-defense or in the defense of others. Even if it's retrospective. Are the children better off for what you did?
They are, but I still feel hollow.
They are better off for what you did. And they were the innocents in all of this.
The others are getting away from us. They haven't noticed we
Just remember,
stopped.
far slower than us. We could outpace them in no time.
I also confide something. Since Mick spoke about what she used to do, I really want to burn her too.
Maybe
Like
that is a talk that
fire
we need
and
to have.
brimstone, burn her.
We don't know much about her. We don't know why she was in that position. All we know now is that she left. We can find out more. We can talk to her. But remember, it's why we act. We can't act without full reason or without full knowledge, so we need to find out more.
Okay. I'm not going to do it. I've been holding it in for days.
I don't blame you for the way that you feel.
If I ever say, get away from me, please listen.
Will 30 feet be enough?
I don't know. Size of a standard Barovian hovel. Seems to be about the range.
Okay. I'm not going to leave you behind though. I would much prefer it if you didn't leave me behind either.
No, I won't leave you behind.
Back up the windmill.
Okay, thanks, Alessander. I feel a little lighter.
sorry I'm not good at these talks. But I trust you.
Yeah, you
I
shouldn't.
knew you when you were gone.
You shouldn't.
And I'll hug him again.
Okay. He'll hug him back. And let go and start walking.
Absence, one sec. Do you have something I could wrap this with?
Yeah, he'll just basically take some of the arm wrap around his arm and unwind it and rip a piece off and wrap Alexander's hand.
Thank you.
Sorry about that.
It's okay. It was my own fault.
Okay. At least if I die, I've told you what happened. Let's do this.
Yes, let's.
So,
And we run and catch up with the others because we're faster than them.
Yeah, I could just walk at 40, so I'll be like Nordic walking.
I am currently experiencing technical difficulties.
I just want to say, Jim turned his camera on during that conversation, and he looked. His facial expression was brilliant. He looked very very judgmental. Brilliant.
I think it's because something like I said that absence hadn't been too bad since we got here, and Jim's probably like, well, actually, you've killed all of these people.
I haven't killed anyone that wasn't bad, have I?
Not that I can think of.
I actually healed the person that I set on fire, so I'll put them out at least.
Okay. So I assume you can still hear me through Discord, but I'm being thrown out of Foundry and Ninja because
Oh
I'm
no.
apparently out of memory.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh yes, we can still hear you.
Is that your computer's running out of memory?
Well, it just comes up with an out of memory error, so I'm just trying to see what I can do about that.
Oh, you might want to clear your cache, maybe.
Yeah, I've done that. Still happening. Yeah, it was my first thought. Clear the cache.
Yeah.
But whilst I'm dealing with that, so you walk up towards Yester Hill. You will see, yes, there are sort of 3 distinct levels to Yester Hill, each about 100 feet high. There seems to be a trail which spirals round the hillside, and then a steep-looking rocky path which heads straight up the hillside. At the peak, you'd be able to see the tips of some trees. The forest is keeping you relatively sheltered from the wind and rain, but it looks like there's a storm somehow centered over this hill.
Where's the
It's a
hill?
good sign.
Is there anyone up on the hill?
Uh,
Can we see?
Would you like to do a perception check?
I would. I will do that.
And could you, because I cannot see at the moment, tell me what you get?
14.
14. It's quite difficult to see because of the wind and the rain. You can make out a couple of figures on one of the levels. It's too high. It's just too high up for you to be able to make out any people on the very, very top level. But on the levels that lead up to it, you can see a couple walking slowly round.
Looks like there's some folk up there already. I know there was quite a lot up there other week or other day. I don't know when it was I was here, but.
What kind of folk are they?
Or I don't know, folk. They was up there, 2 legs, wandering around up there. It was dark, and there was fire, and there was lightning, and there was all sorts of stuff. I don't know what kind of folk, just folk. A bit like you lot, really.
What do you mean, like us lot?
Well, 2 legs, walking around. It was hard to tell from the distance.
Could you tell at all what they were doing? Other than walking around?
Without
No.
approaching, I don't know that you'd be able to see what they were doing. Every now and again, you'll have seen maybe this. You'll have seen what you see now. You'll see there's always a pair of people going round the trails, so you could, I guess, make out from that there's generally a patrol, and then, like you said, most of the people are concentrated on the top level at the peak. But there's a ring of stones that they all seem to go in and out of, so you couldn't make out what they do in there.
I don't know what they're up to, just wandering around, probably looking for the food. And there's that stone circle on top, and they seem to be interested in that, but I don't know why. It doesn't feel right, that hill. It's a bit like that staff that Mick there's holding. Just don't, it feels inky. I told you that when I first met.
Hmm. Are we looking for anyone in particular here, or is this just the source of those things?
You're looking for the stone that they have taken, the magical gemstone that they've taken from the Marticles.
How far away is the hill from where we are now?
Call it 100 feet.
Can I ask Graham to get all ravened up and to go do a quick flyby? Not to get too close, but I just want a better idea of what the hell they're doing.
You want me to go all the way to the top?
Just a bit closer. If anyone looks at you funny, you just fly around a bit, get away from them. That's fine. I don't want you putting yourself in danger, but it would be very helpful if we were to know what is actually happening up there, or at least kind of a better idea of how many are up there. Do you think you can do that? You don't have to if it's too scary.
I'll go.
Absents don't. Not fast. If Graham can get a better view, give us a bit more to go on, then it'll be safer for us.
Be quieter than you.
You're not prepared.
I'm quiet.
He's a raven. He's less noticeable, even if he's out in the open.
Okay.
V-screen has gone white and she can no longer hear people.
Yeah.
So
Needs to turn it off and on again.
Tom,
Oh,
why don't you impress us with some mighty fine scatting?
It's the most random thing I've ever.
scatting. And I take it you mean like
Catman John.
Jazz.
Yeah.
Yeah, not like
But
dodgy
whenever I hear
fetishes.
that, I just think of shit.
Yes, I'm fully aware of the unfortunate reputation that phrase has. But no, I did not
You
mean...
used it anyway.
Because I like to imagine we think about jazz before that.
Well, jazz. Jazz is the first thing,
We're all
obviously, that
thinking
comes to
about
mind.
jazz. Nice. I'm not sure I'm cool enough to scat.
Okay, well, Graham.
I'm not
Graham
sure I
gets
would
a-
agree with that.
If the Scatman can do it, then so can you.
Scat man.
Also, sorry for interrupting Graham's thing. Yeah, exactly. See, Hazel's getting into it.
I also think, if you think about it as well, Tenacious D kind of does rock scat.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was listening to that on the. I went to get some food after we got back on the train, and I put a bit of Tenacious D on.
Oh, it's nice, lovely bit of Tenacious D.
Yeah.
What's the hill we're at?
Yester Hill.
Yes, to help.
Yester Hill. Thank you. Sorry, I'm trying to do my notes, so I keep forgetting. Yester Hill, and there's 3 levels, and there's people on all levels, aren't there? But most people are concentrated at the top.
R.
Yeah. And it sounds like there's patrols.
Look at you being sensible, making notes about our campaigns.
I've started keeping track. I've started putting dates. I'm trying to be good.
It's a sign that we play online so much that I have OneNotes for the campaigns.
I've got OneNotes as well. I've got
This is
OneNotes for every campaign.
if,
every
if I
character.
type, I get distracted and all, so I'm trying to handwrite and see if that helps.
This is my notepad for all of our campaign notes. You will see, it is empty.
Nothing.
I have proper notes as well, which I had for years, and then I discovered OneNote, and now I'm evangelical about it. And I don't know how one exists without OneNote.
I love the Star Trek notebook you got me for Christmas, Tom, with my name on it. It is perfect. However, I can't use it on anything other than a Star Trek game.
That's fair. I've got that the book you gave me, and I don't want to write in it because it's so nice. And I feel like there's a finite amount of pages, and if I use one up, it's gonna be gone. Just look at it.
If you don't use it, it'll just be an empty book forever.
It's so pretty.
Unless you're gonna put it in a frame and display it, you might as well use it.
I use it for something else. I use it for I don't know, writing bad poetry or something.
Yes.
You should do bonus action fan fiction and write Thread Reader's memoirs in that.
Just have dirty limericks or something. That seems.
Oh, well, I was
A1,
about to say
read a
D&D
book.
limerick that Seymour up Tom's alley.
I think it would just say Thread Reader, Day 1, read a book and such. Day 2, read 2 books and such.
Day 3, Snitch stole my books. Very upset with him.
Only managed half a book.
Only managed 1 pre-theft book.
Day 4. Killed Snitch, skinned him, made books.
I feel like we've lost V.
Lost the GM.
Lost the GM. So we're all
Oh,
going to
she's
level
back
up.
in the server.
And
Yep, level
so
8 everyone, well done.
Level 8 everyone, why not? We'll fill in for the GM. We're all level 8, and
We won.
And we won. Yeah, we won D&D. Woo!
World peace achieved.
What? So, what type of so I'm going completely. We're not even on Curse of Strahd anymore. What type of enemies would be a good favoured enemy in the Underdark? Like oozes, monstrosities,
Aberrations.
aberrations. Okay,
Elves.
thank you.
I would disagree with that. I think, well, I can't speak for Out of the Abyss, although Tom probably could. But I think aberrations are a lot rarer than you probably think.
So what's
So-
more common?
Elves. Myconids.
Myconids, elves, orcs,
Dwarves.
gnolls,
Myconids are my
dwarves.
friends. Dwarves. But
Gnomes.
so would they be humanoids?
fairies.
They're fae, but are dwarves and elves humanoids?
Yes.
I'll have that one then. Thank you.
What's going on?
Orc and Drow.
Okay. These back. Play can commence.
Apologies. Don't know what happened. I think there was an update when I restarted, so it might have been something to do with that.
Windows.
Hey.
Right.
Windows happened.
So where we were, you were sending Graham off on a little mission. Could you please roll?
I did a perception check. He got a 10.
You got a 10. Could you also roll me just straight dex, because it's just bad flying weather.
Oh. Oh. Can I try and catch him?
No, he's not going to fall with a 6. It's not a natural one. He's just going to have a hard time of it, so he's going to be gone for about half an hour. And he's probably quite difficult to make out.
I think your raven's dead.
So don't say such things. He's doing his best.
Maybe too soft feathered for this weather.
He's not really feathered.
If you can call him back, I would. He's gonna die.
No, he'll be fine. He'll come back when he's ready. When he's done his job. Have more faith in him.
Not about faith, it's just about not killing it.
He's not going to die. And if he gets too dangerous, he'll come back. I told him to. He's smart. He'll make good decisions.
Yeah.
You wait a bit longer, and eventually you'll see a black speck in the sky, beating its wings hard as it flaps towards you. Eventually this raven, slick with rainwater, looking very worse for wear, just settles down, making your shoulder quite wet, and says, "That wasn't fun."
Oh, I'm sorry, Graham. And I'll take my jacket off and I'll try and like pat him down. And any like rations I've got in my pocket, I'll.
Oh no, doesn't work with feathers. And he just does a like a bird would do, and you will get a lot of yeah.
Okay. Okay, well I know for next time.
There's a path, and there's lots of stones on the path, and there's some people on the path. They seem to be walking round and round. There's lots of people up top. There's a big tree. It looks dead. Lots of other trees, they look dead too. And then there's this it's like a circle, but they made it out of big stones. And then in that, there's another circle, and that's where most of the people are. And it's like a tree, but it looks like a person.
Tree that looks like is it a person that is a tree? Can they move? Or
No,
is it a
no,
tree carved?
it weren't moving. It lots of bits of tree, but really big like a tree, but it had like arms and legs.
So they built a statue out of wood.
He will sort of look around as if someone's going to tell him that that's what a statue is, and then just go, yeah.
Okay, I'm from his description, I'm imagining like the Wicker Man. Okay. Let me just add that to my notes.
That's a good sign. My suggestion is we move in quiet, unseen, pick them off one at a time. That way we stand a chance.
Well, there's definitely too many for us to take them all on at once, so I'm happy to follow your lead.
Also, Magus would probably be able to tell you, and you could probably make it out a little bit from here. At the very base of the hill, where that path that's going directly straight up is, there's another circle of stones there. And yeah, Magus would remember that.
There's quite a few circles of stones. I suppose they're up to some sort of ritual or something. Don't know what they're doing, mind, but
Well, if they are doing a ritual, clearly we need to stop them before they finish.
I think definitely stop them here. Don't, whatever it is they're doing, it don't feel like it'd be a good thing.
How good are you at being quiet, Magus? Darzin?
I'm pretty good at it, I think. I'm not, like, amazing, but I'm okay.
I give it a go.
Just need to get in quietly. Just try and pick them off. One or two at a time. If that's even possible.
Between what Max has said and what Graham said, do we have an idea of how many people there are? As like a rough number?
Give me a second. Yeah, I feel like you've done your intel, so I can give you a rough idea, but I should check that's correct first. Too many maps. Between 10 and 15.
Well, it might not have to kill them all, mind. Just enough to get up there, stop whatever they're buggering around with, and maybe figure out what to do about that weird tree. Not the man-shaped one, the other big dead one, I think, gotta fix it. Or burn it down. I don't know. Just don't feel right.
Trees often burn better than live ones.
That statement confuses me. Trees burn better than live ones.
Dead trees. Dead trees dry out.
But we don't want to burn it if we don't supposed to burn it. I need whatever's up there making things wrong needs to be put right. And that might not be done by burning the trees. It might be done by fixing the trees. You have to wait till we're at top, figure it out.
How do you fix a tree?
We might not be dead. Sometimes they look dead, but they grow again. You have to know whether it's proper dead. If it's wrong,
Wait
not.
a year or two just to see.
You can help it along.
Okay.
I suppose it's much like fixing a person.
I suppose so. If the person can be fixed, person can't be fixed, burn it down, like you say. I think. I don't know.
Do we avoid the circles? I don't know much about magic, but they don't seem like a good omen.
Best get close, find out, I reckon. It's hard to tell from here. We snuck up to one and have a look. On them stones.
Oh, dear. I still have some Molotovs, or we still have some Molotovs left over.
Don't you?
Did we use one or two last session?
We'll say you have them all because the one that you used last session didn't go off.
It
Okay,
didn't
yeah.
break.
So that was. Did we have 6? 6 Molotovs. Thank you.
I might, if I can find the Alchemist's Fire, I'm just going to add 6 of them to your character sheet.
We best coming at it from this way, or work our way around the other side, come at it from a different way. What do you reckon?
Where do they normally expect people to be appearing from?
Well, I reckon if they're going to expect people to appear from somewhere, the path might be a good shout. So we probably don't want to go up the path because they'll see us coming there. So maybe we go.
How deep is the bank? Do you know?
I don't know. I just I saw the hill, and then I left. I went into the woods to find something to eat. I didn't spend too long around here. Would it be worth having just walking away round, see if we can see some other way up?
Maybe Alessandra and I should go. We're quiet.
Yeah. Maybe clear a path.
Yeah, if we get the opportunity.
Sure, I'll just stay here with Magus and
Well, I think
Mick.
if we go first quietly and you follow a distance behind, not too far, but if it goes wrong, then we can all come together. And if you make a noise, then maybe they'll move past us. Then
Not a terrible idea. That's good thinking. Well done.
okay. Alessandra,
Hello.
you ready?
Yeah.
Sorry,
Good
just to
luck.
clarify, are you doing approaching just you two and doing a circle of it to do a scope it out, or are you just going ahead of everyone else and they're following?
I think we're trying to stealth up with them following.
Yeah, so trying to stealth up, but not to the path, to somewhere we can perhaps get up without using the path,
Follow the
where
tree
we've
line
got a
route.
bit of cover, can't be seen, and sort of trying to find a way forward that will help the others stay hidden too.
Okay, let's do a stealth roll for you two doing the first, just trying to get to the bottom of the hill unseen, and I guess the others, waiting 50 feet back.
If we walk the same way around the tree route.
Oh no!
Oh no, you didn't.
Oh, I did. I'm sorry.
That's alright. I'm probably going to do the same.
No, you.
Oh no. Average it out.
So yeah, let's have dozen as well. Let's just work it out.
No one have
It didn't roll in Foundry for some reason, but I got a 21.
Lovely. Alessander in absence, you start making your way to the base of the hill. Thank you for doing Mick as well. As you approach, you can see why those paths exist. That the face of the hill, the first layer, it's pretty much just 100 feet sheer, straight up. They've carved into the hill these sort of steps, but it's very rocky, muddy. That steeper path that goes straight up, and then you can also see the other trail going round, so it looks like it would be a very difficult climb, and then you'd get to that layer, and then there'd be another difficult climb. It's very much like a circle has been placed on top, like a cake. And then at some point, let's say when you're about 30 feet away, you will hear a voice cry out from above, and an arrow hit the tree next to you, Alessander.
Go back. Maybe they've not seen me. Go back. Fall back to the others. I'll stay here.
and I'll do what Absence says, and I will fall back.
And I'll stay hidden.
How long do you want?
I'm just going to see what I can see.
You will see two people on that first level. Maybe. Let me do some measuring. 150. So if the main path is there, I wish I could take you to the map yet. It doesn't, but I don't have the space before the map. It just starts at the bottom of the hill. If you've got the path going straight up on the first level, maybe 150 feet away from the path, making their way around, you can see a couple of figures, one with a bow drawn, scanning, looking for Alessander. Alessander, are you retreating stealthily, or would you just run back for cover?
No, I'm going to attempt to retreat stealthily.
Can I have another check, please?
Yeah, I don't know how much good it'll do me. Not great, but better than last time. 13.
I came out of the character sheet.
Something already knew I was there, so at least if it thinks I'm retreating, that's not too bad.
Actually, they know you're there now, so they're gonna roll. I was going on passive. good. So if you follow where that arrow came from, you could probably see those people too, Alessander. So if you stop and wait, and you tell the others to stop as well, you'll see these figures looking out, scanning for you, but they don't loose another arrow. If you wait 10 minutes, 15 minutes.
I'll hide so I can anchor down, and I'll try and signal to the three behind me to stop. And once I think that we're clear, I'll signal back to Absence, and I'll try and start moving again.
After about 15 minutes, they seem to continue their patrol coming across the front of this hill.
Well, if I see them coming back round, I will just signal to Alexander to stop and hide and wait till they've gone
Waited
round.
another 15 minutes, so all in all, 30 minutes doing nothing, just in the rain, sat there getting wet. They could pass across the front and then not disappear, but they've gone round.
So how
well, I
long
think
is it taking them to do one circuit?
If you
About
waited
15
and
minutes.
watched for that bottom layer, 45 minutes.
Okay.
15. Yeah.
So I think what we should do is, once they've gone past, is try and get up there and hide somewhere and wait for them and ambush them as they come round.
Yeah.
Would you like to continue moving after they move out of sight?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Stealth.
Still stealthy.
Stealth again, please.
I am not built for stealth, it seems.
Oh,
Ooh.
Oh dear. Oh, Mick's made up for it a bit.
So Darcy drops his tambourine.
oh, I don't know.
Anne puts his foot through it and walks along with it on his foot for a bit.
It's just all the jewelry. Tingles a little bit. He forgets we're sneaking and just starts strutting.
Okay. As you get closer to the bottom, it becomes harder, and then once you're at the very bottom, it's basically impossible to see people above you because it's so straight up.
And you, so there's the nice path that goes round, and you said that there was one cut in that's still like dodgy.
So you can't see anyone on that cutting through path in the time that you're taking to walk to the bottom of the hill.
Can we start climbing up it?
It becomes harder and harder to see if there's anyone on each level, if you will. Okay, and I will bring you up to that map. And at this point, you are
Oh, we've got
very
cans.
soggy people. So at the very, very bottom of the hill, where that path starts, you will see that small ring of stones that Magus told you about. Within that ring, there are 3 sort of standing stones, all about 3 foot tall, stood up like pillars. A thick carpet of moss on each of them. A single stone slab. And as I said, it's about 100. I don't know if I did say it. It's about 100 feet between each level, and this path, although making it easier to traverse, being carved into it, it's still looking like quite difficult terrain to cover. It's still like you're climbing. You might be on your hands and knees to be able to do it, but the ground is slick with rainwater, so it's muddy. You're very wary that it might be difficult to get purchase on the ground, and you're just going to have to be really careful if you're going to take that path.
Has anyone got a rope? Maybe Alexander or myself go first.
I'll go first.
You sure?
Yeah.
Alessandro is a good climber. I think it makes sense for.
I'm pretty good at climbing.
He scaled that building much faster than I ever could.
Thank you, Dawson.
Very welcome.
So the plan is Alexander first with a rope?
Yeah, if we have rope. Does anyone
I
have
do
rope?
not have rope.
I've got rope. I've got 50 feet of rope.
Lovely. Do you have anything? I assume at some point
Oh,
you're going
I've
to
got
start
rope too.
securing it.
I have to.
I only have rope, so if anyone's got any pitons, whatever they're called, that'd be useful.
Well, I have a dagger and a rapier, and I never really seem to use either. So if you'd like to try and wrap the rope around their hilts and ram those into the hillside.
A spare spear. I've got 2 spears, in fact.
I could get up to the top layer and find something more secure, or get up to the top of this one layer, find somewhere more secure, secure it that way, and then you could all use it to help you get up, rather than us trying to all follow the same rope at the same time while attached to me. I'm worried about securing it with things that are less secure.
But I'll come up second, and that way, if I fall, I should be fine.
Be careful.
You too.
So, and I'll head off. I'll try and find somewhere to secure it.
You have a climbing speed. I can't remember what comes with
Yeah, my climbing speed and my walking are the same, so 30 meters. No, 30 feet. 30 meters would be amazing.
Yeah, I
So,
will say that.
Veronica, what I'm
Yeah.
going to do is I am going to watch. I can only do it within 30 feet, but I'm going to watch Alexander, and if anyone appears or comes around the corner on patrol, I'm going to use thaumaturgy to make a noise behind them. Try and distract them from Alexander, if that makes sense. I want to hold that action effectively.
Very good. Noted. As you have a climbing speed, Alexander, do I make you? I'll make your DC lower. Can you give me a? What would you do for climbing? I'd say athletics, but
Athletics or
Could I
athletics?
go acrobatics?
acrobatics because you're you.
Because I'm a dexy boy.
Yeah.
I am not rolling well.
Okay. So you start making your way up, and it's one of those. I don't know what to compare it to. Say you're on a steep pebble beach, so your feet are sinking in as you walk, which is sort of giving you purchase, but at the same time, with every step, your loose rocks are falling around it as well, and the terrain is just unreliable. So every step is a bit of a oh, I don't know. and there's a moment where you do feel your foot slip, but eventually, after 10 minutes, you will make it up to the top level successfully. Will you roll me a perception check? Absence, if you're keeping an eye out.
Yeah. Not the perception is my greatest. Dear. I was kind of hoping the others would help. I would say what I'm doing. If you see anyone coming, just tell me.
The others
Clearly.
are helping.
I'm
Feel
clearly
free to roll a
distracted.
perception.
I'll Dawson would keep an eye out as well. So perception check from him. Yep. So 19.
Very good. With what you're able to see, you do not see. No, you don't see anything at this point that causes concern. So I would say, let me unpause the game. Absence, not absence, and Sandir would make it up to this level. There's your 100 feet. After about 10 minutes, what are you going to do at the top?
Try and find somewhere to secure. Well, when I'd have got 50 feet up. Oh, I've got 50 feet of rope. Did anyone else have rope?
Yeah, I've got 50 feet as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So at 50 feet, I would have secured the first section of rope, with the idea that the last person up would have then brought that with them, and then I'd do the second set of 50, secure the next rope.
Could you roll me 2 survival checks for securing that rope with the makeshift sort of equipment that you have on the... Yeah, okay. Oh,
Everything's wet.
everything is wet. The earth is very loose. As you climb up, you notice that there are at very regular intervals on the first level of the first ring, if you will, on either side of this path, seemingly going all the way round until you can't see it. Lots of just again standing stones. So I will say you can attempt to secure it to one of these stones, as they look quite sturdy, embedded in the earth. And then you do the same. I know you can only do that on the top level, I'd say. So the first level, you're securing with your rapier and stuff, and the top level, you're doing with the standing stones. You're iffy about the terrain, but you're pretty sure that the where you've secured it, let's say there's a protruding root in the face of the hill that you first secure it to, looks good, and then you're relatively confident on, because that stone that you've secured it to on the actual top level, it doesn't look like it's going to budge. The knot that you've put in it,
I was never a Boy Scout.
and
then
yeah, no one's shouted at you. That there's been no noises around you while you've been concentrating on your climb.
And then once I've done that, I'll return to the edge, kind of hold onto the rope and like beckon everyone up, and then I will try and keep watch from my vantage point for anyone kind of walking round or up above.
Lovely. Can you roll me a perception? And the others, can you roll me an athletics or acrobatics to make your climb?
Does anyone need a hand?
Mick
if-
might. Oh dear.
Oh dear, you probably don't
I
want a
feel
hand from me.
I feel like a couple of people might. Oh,
Not
How
well
in-
today.
how
got
incredibly
a rope.
mediocre.
Do we get any bonus for the rope or an advantage or anything like that?
I wasn't going to give you advantage. I was going to lower the DC of the
Okay.
difficulty.
So, fair enough.
So Alessander, you're splitting your attention a bit. You're looking down the path, making sure that everyone's getting up okay, and then now and again you'll glance to one side, no one there. Glance to another side, no one there. Glance further up the path ahead of you to the second level. Can't see anyone there, but most of your focus is on the very perilous looking climb that is going on beneath you. Wow. Do you have a marching order?
I
Absence,
was,
Daz,
I
and
was,
Mick.
yeah, I was going to go first.
Absence, you would successfully be able to make it up to that top level. Who is following Absence?
Magus can follow absence.
So just for the record, my passive perception is a 16. In case that helps.
Magus, it's bloody difficult. Why the hell are you all doing this? Surely there must be an easier way. And there's a couple of moments where you lose your footing and think you're going to career backwards, but thank God you've got that rope. And eventually you make it up to the top. Who's following Magus?
I think it'll be Darson and then Mick. No, it'll be Mick first and then Darson.
Mick, lovely. Mick will have a similar trip up to Magus. Not the strongest girl, as we've just established, looking at Mick's character sheet. So actually lagging behind quite a bit. So Darzen, you're probably on Mick's tail going, for God's sake, as they make very slow progress. But they also, as a smaller person, have a better sort of centre of gravity and eventually manage to pull themselves up to the top. Darzin?
Hello?
Hello. Is that a 13 total?
Yes.
Cool. Yeah. You find it easier than Mick and also make it up to the top, so you can all move yourselves up there. I read that initially as just the 6 without the modifier and was trying to work out what full damage I'd give you. But you're fine.
Oh, it just comes up as 13 for me.
I see a 13 and then underneath it there's like
Yeah,
one
there's a
6. So I just saw the 6 and got really excited about your fall.
Impending doom.
Yeah, but you're fine. You're all fine. And yeah, like I said, as you get to that first level, you'll see what Alessander sees either side. This ring, there seem to be regular standing stones going all the way around. And Alessander, as you are helping Darzin, the last one up to the top, you will hear some voices, very distant voices. That's what I'll give you with a 16 in the wind and rain. And if you want to make an active check, you can try and work out where they're coming from.
Okay.
Would Darson pick this out as well?
Why are my rolls so shit?
You know what? Yeah, you've got a good passive too. Yeah.
I'm going to say he's probably not going to pay any attention to that too much initially, because if it doesn't sound like it's close by, he might be like, "Oh, we'll worry about this soon."
Yeah, I hear nothing.
That also does sound very dumb. So actually, I will roll.
Hey. Yeah. Alessander and Absence, you're there, sort of taking a break as you've just made that short climb, and then you're like, can you hear that? What that noise? And you're like looking side to side, you can't see anything coming. You're looking up, you can't see anything there. Similarly, Darzin, you're like, unless they're hiding behind one of the stones on this level, I don't see anyone coming. When Magus, you go, oh, that voice is definitely coming from above.
Oh, there. We can go and hide. Let's hide at the bottom of this cliff thing. They won't notice us there.
Yeah, if we move to the bottom of the cliff, then.
I will. So whoever Darzan will have brought up the last rope. I'll have untied the rope we had at the top, so we've still got both ropes.
Oh, happy for you to do that. Hiding. Can you all make a stealth roll to sort of press yourselves against the back of the cliff? Hill. I'm not sure what this whole structure is. This is beautiful. This is really beautiful. Love that spread. Oh, that's well
There is
done.
no critical. There's no real critical fails on ability checks, but it's still pretty shocking.
There, as you have this brilliant plan, quickly you push yourselves against the cliff face, and there's a moment when Mick is going to follow you where it just seems like Magus has disappeared. And as Mick runs forward to hide, he collides with Magus, not seeing him because he's so well camouflaged with his sort of grimy facade. And just as Mick goes to like call out in surprise, Magus, you can him her. After about 5 minutes, you'll hear the voices overhead getting closer until you have a feeling that they are above you. If you want to...
I'll whisper to Alessander. Well, I won't even whisper. I'll just tap him on the shoulder and gesture. And I'll just gesture.
Those of you maybe listening to the stream rather than watching it, we've just done a load of hand gestures to each other.
So Absence is basically
describe
suggesting.
what you're doing.
I'm basically sort of miming climbing up and then pulling them off the, over the cliff. And I'll suggest that Alessander and I do it, as we're probably the quietest.
Are they? Can we tell if they're stopped at the top of where we are, or are they moving round?
They sound like they've stopped.
Okay.
Well, what could possibly go wrong with how the rolls are going?
Oh God.
So you want to stealthily climb?
Yeah, quietly climb up and try and pull them off the cliff effectively to the level below. You like pull their legs out from under them so they fall down.
Would you like to roll me that stealth? And would you roll me the acrobatics and athletics at the same time, and I'll try and determine based... Absence, you... Okay.
Oh no! I fall.
Thought you had a
I
climb
fall
speed
and
though.
die.
Thought you had a climb speed, so
Oh yeah, I do have a climb speed.
can you fall?
Climb speed, but yeah.
Still get 8 even with a 1.
Yeah, it's still an 8. I'm trying to think what would happen there. Absence is quite an easy one. Absence, you essentially press your body flat, so you are climbing on all fours, but flush with the face of it.
Mhm.
If you get what I mean. And so you're pretty convinced that you are looking stealthy. And it's not too difficult for you now you've done that first climb. Alessander, you see Absence's technique and copy. So feel like that's hiding you pretty well. But you're so busy concentrating on Absent, seeing like maybe following he found a foothold here, so you'll go find that one too, that you don't feel that you don't notice that one of the rocks that you go for isn't the same one and it's actually very loose, and you will pull, basically, instead of securing yourself, you'll come loose. You won't fall. I won't do that to you because you've still got an 8. But you will make a loud noise as you think you're about to fall, and all of these loose rocks start to tumble down on your climb.
Okay.
And then, oh, this is harsh because they're right above you. It's a 100-foot climb.
In windy rain.
In windy rain. I'm going to say
It might work out for the best if they notice you but not me. It might give me the drop on them.
could you roll me a d100 and I'll say that's the point when that in your climb when that loose rock fall happens. Cool, so you're past the halfway point. You're nearly at the top. Sorry, just moving some things about. God, this is a big map. Okay, so from there, sorry, I'm going to move you. Let's find 60 feet. Come on, move. So this loose rock fall happens, and concerned about the noise that you've just made, you can look up above and you will see this head appear over the top and look down and meet eyes with... Oh wait, it's a 16. Let me just roll.
Am I above Alexander at this point? Or...
I'd say you
'cause
there's
if-
space
if-
for you both, so you
I
can
just
be
mean-
alongside each other.
It's just if this person looks over and sees Alexander, because that's 27 stealth, I'm very doubtful that they'll see me. I basically want to use that opportunity to like zip up the rock and basically grab onto them and just fall backwards.
Roll me another acrobatics or athletics to see if you can whiz up. Yeah, with that you can have it. So I'll say you can get to the top of the rock face. They're surprised. I'll give them disadvantage as you're surprised. Contested strength for you to pull them with you.
Yeah, I just want to basically latch onto them. It's a drop, right? It's not a gradual climb. It's a cliff. That's what you said.
So it's pretty steep because you're on the path. It's not a complete drop. It's the rest of the cliff face is a drop, but here they've managed to like add earth and carve an attempt at a path into it to make it a bit
Okay.
easier as terrain goes. But I would definitely say you could
Would
try
they
and
take
pull
falling
them to the
damage?
side. Yes.
They would take fall damage. Okay, that's fine. That's what I want to achieve, really.
So this male figure will appear at the top of the precipice, and they've got antlers, sort of antler headdress on, and a heavy fur cloak. And you pull.
I mean, I'm not very strong. I'm just trying to as they look over at Alexandria, I'm just trying to get them off balance.
Oh, well done.
So
Cool.
as soon as they start to fall, I like fall backwards with them. I would just roll them off to the side because I've got safe fall, and just allow them to like plummet down the hill, and hopefully I will land gracefully and not get hurt. I have slow fall. You can use a reaction when you fall to reduce any falling damage by plus 25. So basically, we'll both start falling, but as soon as we are falling, I'll just roll away from him and slow myself.
Oh, okay. So 1d6 for every 10 feet. So cool. Let me roll that.
Didn't think that was going to work.
Neither did I. But you rolled
But
a
it's
very
cool
good
that it did.
Rule of cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so 41 minus whatever. What is it? Minus 25?
No, the 20. Do I fall the same? Yeah. Yeah.
Let's just give you the same full damage.
Yeah.
He'll fall down to the bottom. You'll come
So
with it.
that's what? 16 damage, right?
Yes, that is math. Can't math. Doing my own math. Give me a second.
Actually, quite a lot when you've only got 28 hit points. That might be the moment he realizes something's not right.
Yeah, it's still a difficult fall. The terrain, you know you've got lots of cuts in your back from scraping against rocks on the way down, and as you look up, you will see this large male figure prone next to you, like prop itself up on its elbows and
I'll
meet
punch
eyes with you.
the.
Time for initiative.
I was about to say, Dawson's probably rushing over to be like, bam, bam, bam.
Sorry.
Are
to
mine
You might have to add us in.
included?
Yeah, everyone
Yeah,
can
everyone.
roll initiative. Some people are stood at the bottom. Some people are halfway up a hill.
I'm not rolling well.
Oh. Oh dear.
Oh, I meant to roll for the thing that fell down, but I actually pressed Mick. Apologies.
The thing's got initiative. Oh, he rolled even worse than me.
Bloody hell, I would go first.
Yeah. Let's hits in combat, and I'll change to something more. We are in combat. That was loud.
Dun, 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 dun. Combat song, as it's known.
Yes.
Right. How far away am I from the ones that just fell? Is that literal?
I can't.
Oh,
I'll work my
Yeah,
way
that's
along the
literal.
wall.
Yeah.
Okay, literal. I'll work along the wall, and then I'll get this way, and then I'll just blow. Just checking range everyone. I'll just blow a cloud of noxious smoke at the things on the floor, and cast poison spray at it.
Kills.
So a green cloud of smoke comes flying out, hits him, coughing his guts out. And then, on the ground next to Absence, you see a load of vines come out and wrap themselves around his foot for a second, and kind of they push into the side of his skin and kind of pump sap into him for a sec. And I will cast Balm of the Summer Court and give him D6 D6 hit dice back. 2d6 hit dice back, plus 2.
who's that?
You! Or you just
Good
gave him
boys.
12 hit points back.
Yeah, I would probably say that Absence falls and seems to like slow his fall and probably looks relatively graceful. It probably looks quite cool. He grabs on, just falls back with this person and separates and lands. But like you can see where he's hit the ground, his wounds just seem. It's almost like his skin's made of paper. They're just opening up a lot more easily than you would expect. He looks more hurt than he should have been.
It's 12, sorry, I didn't add the 2. The 12, you get plus 4.
Nice.
Very nice.
Oh, sorry, no, 2, sorry, I'm getting this wrong. It's 10 hit points and 2 temporary hit points.
Okay.
I spent 2 dice, sorry. I'll get there in the end,
Oop.
new character.
Oh, hang on, I had.
Anything else, Magus?
That's all.
Very nice. Darzin, what do you do?
My thing at present is going to look considerably less impressive. Darzin is going to make the awkward trek to get as close to this person as they can. And then he's just, whilst trying to contain the immense shock and fear that 2 people have just fallen out of the sky relatively close nearby. And he's just going to rush over and start trying to frantically stab this guy in the face with his rapier.
Lovely, please do.
Is that advantage because this guy is prone?
Oh shit, yes.
Nice.
Definitely hits, so yeah.
Oh yeah, I just automatically
You
roll
just
damage.
assumed, yeah?
Yeah,
Of
I
course.
just assumed after over a 24 would be fine. So that's 9 piercing.
Yeah, this poor bloke has, in the matter of seconds, rolls down a hill, starts to get himself up, and is immediately hit by poison, and sort of lets out an exclamation as his skin burns, and is then quickly followed by him looking down at the burns. Now also a rapier in his chest, and he just lets out and looks at you with really angry eyes, Darcy.
I don't think this was the best idea. Bonus action, Misty Step. So I will go. I'll go over here.
Very good. Anything else?
Nope, that's it. And I will use the Misty Step thing so it knocks my thing down. There we go.
Lovely.
And no, that's everything.
Next up, Alessander, you see above you another head appear. It's a female, again with a similarly headdress that seems to be made of antlers. Quite simple garments, and she will look over and smile as she sees you halfway up the face. And what will she do? She will... Can't see the range of that spell in Foundry. Did that either. Why is it so hard to throw Alessander off a mountain?
He just doesn't deserve it. He just wants to help his friends.
He will use... Oh wait, I can't see the range of that either. That's got enough range. There we go. They'll have to come a little bit closer. So... and they will cast Thorn Whip.
So, if they've had to get close to me and I'm below them, does that mean they've started to climb down?
I'm gonna say it's so unimportant, that 5 feet, that they have they're at the top of the slope.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not too...
I'm going
Because
to
it
be
is-
nuts and say exactly what position is she in, because it's my turn next and I need to know this.
It seems to have quite a stable-ish footing at the first 5 feet of that slope, so she's probably like full extended leg to keep her balance on that bit of the slope, and then what's the word, like bended leg to center her gravity at the top where it's flat.
Okay. Is she kind of then like careening over the ledge?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, that's better.
Do I need to do anything?
No, because she rolled a 10, which is shit.
Okay.
Alessander, what do you want to do?
She is now within reach because of that 5 feet. So I'm going to fucking run up, and then what I would like to do, if possible, is to just reach forward, grab her by the scruff, and then like throw her from the wall if possible. I'm using the fact that she's now off balance and leant forward over the edge to kind of use her own momentum against her.
I like it. I think it still has to be a strength because it's still the body weight of a human, so strength be strength, I'm afraid.
athletics
Sure.
or straight?
That makes
No.
if
It makes
athletics is better
absolutely
for
no
you,
difference.
there you go.
Yes.
Right, let's see. Let's see. Oh! Righty ho. Let me roll that. Full damage. I don't know if I'm doing any of this right. It's quite a difficult one to gauge, but you're doing really, really good ideas. So
Also, can I just say, because I threw her a bit with the momentum, she won't fall directly on the people below. She'll fall a few feet behind them. So I didn't want them to get crushed.
Nice. Love it.
it's nice to watch a skull just go across the screen, isn't it? You'll see her disappear behind you as you as you throw her off, you grab back onto the cliff face to get your purchase again, so you don't go with them. And as you look down, you see that they're not moving, and Darzin simultaneously, you misty step into a space, and then this body just falls at your feet.
And then I'll bonus action hide in case this kerfuffle brings more attention. So I'm just like properly pressed in against the edge, and that'll be the end of my turn.
Nice.
Nice. Just in case, roll a stealth for that hide, and then it's Absence's turn.
I think Absence is going to look slightly more demonic. He's bleeding and covered in blood. He's going to, standing above this guy, looks down on him with his burning red eyes, and just his voice turns deeper, and he just says,
Get up, it's time to die.
and I'm going to kick the living bejeebers out of him. If I can find the buttons. Where's my quarterstaff gone? So two-handed quarterstaff. He is just going to bring it down on this guy. Is he still prone?
He is still. Oh, wait, is he? No, he'll have used his movement to get up on his turn.
If
Has
he-
he had
if
his
he's had
turn?
He hasn't
No,
had
he
a turn yet.
So he's still prone, yeah.
Okay, so it's 2 attacks with the quarterstaff, two-handed, literally brutal, just literally over his head, just whack, whack. No martial arts, no finesse, just, yeah, just brutal. Oh, ignore
Yep.
that. So that's 9 bludgeoning damage on the first one. Second one.
Yep.
5. Actually, that's not 9 damage. Sorry. No, it is 9 damage. So that's another 9.
Describe how he dies.
He's literally just using his staff like a club. There's no martial artistry. There's no real finesse or dexterity. It's just brutal. Just bashes his head in.
Yep, you cave his skull in with your quarterstaff. His body is like pressed into the mud, and slowly you can see all of this blood seeping out of him and mingling with the rain.
Yeah, you'll see Absence's eyes it's almost like real fire comes out of them for a second, and he'll glance up towards Alexander and start moving up as quick as possible, which I don't know what that is. Is that half speed or?
We'll go with, yeah, it's difficult terrain if you don't have a climb speed, so.
I don't think I do. That's it then. I'll stuff it. I'll use a key point and do Step of the Wind. That's it.
Cool. What do you want to do with Mick, Jeremy? Looks
I'm-
like there's 2 dead bodies.
I'm not used to people from this group calling me that. I'm going to. He's just going to action dash, I think. So, like here, and then. So
Half.
that's 30. Oh, half, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So he'll get to like here. There, and that's it for Mick.
Cool. Well, that was 1 round of combat, and that takes us to the top. I assume Graham will follow you, Hazel.
Yeah, he'd be keeping out of the combat. He's just kind
He's
of
present
flying up,
nearby.
perching, flying up, perching, flying up, perching.
Oh. Magus?
Well, there's no other buggers around, is there? So I reckon I'm gonna pick up a couple of stones, and I'll charge them up with some sort of fey power, and I'll stand there at the bottom, get ready to lob one up, and another head comes over the top of the cliff.
So, is there... I'm gonna say, none of you are making perception checks, but there's... On your level, there doesn't seem to be anyone. On Alisander's level, there doesn't seem to be anyone. So I'm gonna take you out of combat unless there's anything else you want to do to prep.
I'll just stand there trying to hear if anything or see anything coming, and if anything comes over the top of the cliff, I'll lob a stone up at them. That's it, basically.
Well, you did away with all of them very, very quickly. Congrats.
Like that. That was different. That was not a normal combat, really. Sorry for the people below who just basically have to dodge bodies.
Suddenly, the concept of it raining men isn't quite appealing.
Song has a whole new meaning.
My one of my best friends for the longest time had his phone wallpaper of those artists stood on the street with a load of men who would obviously they took it literally, and they were just like cracked into the ground around them, and they were standing on like a small mound. And that's the moment where you go, yeah, it wouldn't actually be very pleasant.
Whenever I hear the phrase "it's raining cats and dogs," it makes me feel physically sick.
There's a guy called Jim Will Paint It who does like when he parody art, he uses Microsoft Paint, and he's got one called "It's Raining Men," and there's literally like people out in the street, all smushed and looking very badly injured. Oh yeah, Jim Will Paint It. Very good, very funny. Okay, let's
So
keep moving then.
I suppose we better make our way up then. Follow these two.
Oh, do the people remaining want to make me an acrobatics or athletics check to make the end of that climb?
No, but also yes. That's vicious mockery. I can't
dear.
climb by mocking the mountainside.
Yes, that's the Jim Will Paint It picture, actually.
Oh right.
Yeah.
Take it because I'm right at the top. I'm just pulling myself over the edge, aren't I?
Yeah, you're sorry. Yeah, you're fine. Absence and Alison. Well, Absence was at the bottom, he's just gone straight up, hasn't he? So yeah, other than Alessander, I'm checking on everyone else. Absence, fine. Darzin, fine. Give me a marching order for that second climb. So everyone but Alessander.
Darzin would have been last
Well,
again,
Absence,
making sure Mick went ahead of him.
yeah, Absence was in front anyway, so. And he did dash.
It probably would have been exactly the same.
Thank you, Alessander.
Right, survival was just for the ropes.
Yep, I gathered, and you were ahead of me, as always. So Magus would have gone after Absence. So Magus, let's say. Actually, Magus, can you roll me a D100, and this time we'll work out from you where this fall happens. Oh, you're nearly at the top. That's lovely for you.
Well, I enjoyed Magus for the 3 sessions she played him for.
At about 85 feet up, you just lose your footing and start to tumble backwards, and that will cause a chain reaction that causes Mick to tumble backwards. Darzin, would you like to make me a dexterity check to... And you can make the choice here. Help them, or keep yourself from falling.
He'll help Magus. He'll reluctantly help Mick too. Would you like a 1 check for both, or 1 check each?
1 check for both, because I imagine it's two smaller than average bodies coming at you, so it's the weight of someone like you coming at you.
Okay. So I'll do the first one for Magus. That's a 12. It's an ability check, isn't it, and not a save?
Yeah, check.
Okay. And then Mick. I did better to save the one I didn't want to.
So you see Mick lose their footing as they're right ahead of you, and you just put your arms up and support their weight, and you've got them. What you don't see is Magus above Mick, who is now
Cartwheeling down the.
tumbling beside you.
As I'm falling past, you'll just hear bugger this, and I'll just turn into a raven like we saw Graham do earlier on with wild shape if I can.
You absolutely can, and I won't make you take any damage.
Austin's just going to watch that, and he's like, has he been able to do that the whole fucking time?
Lead with that next time.
With that, I won't make you roll a check again. There's this very awkward moment where you are holding a horizontal Mick above you with strength you didn't know you had. And as you help Mick find their footing, you both can climb up to the top, where you will find a little raven waiting for you. 2 little ravens waiting for you.
Well,
When he sees
Apparently
Darzin climb up to
apparently
the
I
top,
have to protect the baby baker, but fuck, let's fucking get out there.
when Magus sees Darzin climb up to the top, he'll just at him and then just jump up onto his shoulder and perch on the shoulder, stare at the raven.
Oh my god, it's like having another little crowfoot. It's amazing. Do you know how to dance? And he'll scratch Magus's head.
I'll cock my head to him and then look at it, put my beak towards his eye ever so slightly, threateningly, as if to say I don't dance.
It's always worth a try.
The raven that's on Alessander's shoulder will say, "Can you talk?" To addressing the raven.
Ah!
Oh, you're a stupid raven.
I would be a bit more
Something like
concerned
that.
about the people who can do magic to do this. Like, that are us-sized.
That just means you're not clever when you're a raven. You're just clever when you're big.
Yeah, he might be clever, he threatened me.
You can't talk.
Just because you can't talk... just because you can speak doesn't mean you're intelligent, or you're not intelligent.
It means he's not as good a raven as I am.
As a raven, I'll cast Druidcraft and have a little vine appear on the back of the other raven's mouth and just wrap around its beak. Just a little vine.
Unless there's a feature I'm aware of you can't cast in wild shape.
Can you not? I thought you could.
No, that comes much later.
Okay,
I
then
think
I
you
can't do
can,
that.
you can maintain concentration.
Can't do that then. I won't do that
A shame because I like the idea.
then.
So is Graham bullying Magus in Wild Shay?
Roll me an insight.
I was running up the stairs and I heard like a squawk.
Oh,
And
right.
then
Okay, so
something-
it's he's not bullying him. He's saying he's just asked if Magus can speak like he can speak as a raven, and he can't. He's like, oh, so he's stupid. But it
Well,
And-
Graham, he's new at this, and you're a different type of raven. Like I can't be a raven at all, so he's got to be quite smart if he can do that.
so I am smart because he just said I wasn't. And she point at Dawson with a feather.
I didn't say you weren't smart, I just said you can't judge other people's intelligence, and the ability to communicate doesn't necessarily make you intelligent.
It's not the time nor the place. Graham, you're a brilliant raven. You're the best raven. Magus is trying his best as well.
Graham will just sort of hold his beak proudly and puff his chest out a bit. You have another 100 feet before you.
Okay. Start climbing again. Oh, and you said that there's no one on this level and the level below.
Do another check because you've just all come up
Cool.
to the top.
Now I'm a raven.
I like hide the bodies a little bit as well. And move them out of the
Absolutely,
way.
that's a very good idea.
Now I'm a raven. I can see there's a little dead tree at the top of this one. I just fly up, perch on it.
Yes, you can.
Can I walk up to Absence and just tap him on the shoulder and be like, "Oh, you're doing okay there. You look a little worse for wear," and give him a little cure wounds.
It doesn't hurt.
Well, it doesn't have to hurt. But,
I don't feel anything.
no, but it doesn't look particularly fun either. Doop-doo. The whole 9 hit points for you, sir.
Okay, well, you would notice that you put 9 hit points into me, but I don't take it all. It's like I get to a certain point and then my wounds don't close up. But they
Well,
should have.
that's more than a little concerning.
I think I take 6 of that and then the rest doesn't happen. Thank you. Honestly, it doesn't hurt, so it's fine. I think I'm fine.
You're definitely not fine. We should probably get you to someone who knows healing magic better than a bard who spends most of his time drinking wine and hoping people don't ask him hard questions.
Sorry what I said to you the other day. Yesterday. I ended up losing track of time, sure. I'm sorry. I had a bad dream. I reacted badly. I shouldn't have took it out on you.
I think you're one of the first people who's ever apologized to me. It's quite alright. Don't worry about it.
Let's finish this.
Magus, can you roll me as a raven perception? Then you can, I assumably,
Try.
scout out that top level.
I'm just searching Raven on D&D Beyond. That is perception is wisdom, isn't it? So it's +1. $19.
Awesome. So you can fly up easily to that top level ahead of everyone making that climb, and you will see there doesn't seem to be a patrol approaching on the level below, or the level below that. And on that top level, you can see there doesn't seem to be anyone waiting for you at the top. The nearest people seem to be. Let me work this out. The ruler. About 70 feet following the path at the top of the hill. There's someone standing by this large stone circle that encompasses this tree that you saw. No, not the tree. The tree is somewhere else. Beyond the stone circle, further on, you can see that dying tree that gives you the heebie-jeebies. Inside the big stone circle, you can see the tip of that thing that Graham describes, that effigy made out of wicker and twigs and things. And as I said, one person at the entrance to it.
Is that person looking in our direction?
Yes. They won't take mind of a raven, though. They don't seem to do anything when as you fly up and perch on the tree.
Then I shall and then fly down again. And when I get to the bottom, I shall turn back into Magus. There's one of them fellers up there by the stone circle, and they're looking this way. They're a little way away from the top, so we can't do what we did last time.
I have a very awkward idea. So I can sometimes make people laugh with magic. It's really stupid, but I kind of enjoy how absurd it is. And they tend to fall on the floor and roll around laughing for about a minute or so. It's quite entertaining. But if we can get them closer, I can tell them a terrible joke, and then we can just roll them off the edge of the cliff.
For more context, Magus, I'll give you, unless you've got further in. Like you said, there's a person at the entrance of that stone circle, but beyond them you can see there are other bodies sort of going back and forth in between, so you know there's more people in that circle. It's just a very high wall, so unless you were to go even higher up, you wouldn't be able to see above the circle. Retrospectively, you can fly up if you wish.
No, I've done that now. I'll just tell the others that there's other people in the circle, but there's one chap on the outside who's looking our way. Well, I think he's a chap. One thing.
Well, if there's more people, someone roaring with laughter probably wouldn't be too smart. Sadly. I really wanted to roll someone off the cliff.
Well, whatever we do, we've got to be careful going up here now.
Same again, Absence and Alessandro will go and check things out first, and
Okay.
I'll make sure the baby baker doesn't fall to their death and etc.
I'm wondering though, if there's that chap looking this way down the path, would it be wise if we're climbing anyway to sort of climb a little bit out of the way? Now we've only got this one level to climb. Might it be better to climb a little way along the wall so we're not coming directly up where someone's guarding it?
It could also
mean,
be worth just walking around. So the path that goes around, I'm taking it that also kind of like slowly works its way up.
You got it.
Should we just
I've got an
walk
idea.
around until there's only about 10 foot to climb?
Sorry, say that again.
Should we walk around until there's only about 10 foot to climb?
Yeah. I was just thinking if you want, kind of figured out how to do something I couldn't do before. You can put someone in darkness that they can't see through. So I could make a noise, bring them to the edge, plunge them into darkness. Then we pull them off the cliff.
But if we know where someone is looking, we can just avoid where they're looking. Are we trying to kill everyone here?
Well, we've at least got to break their legs or disable them so that they can't rally to any call from whoever's at the top. Don't we?
Whilst I agree with you, breaking everyone's knees seems a little bit extreme.
It's not killing them.
I know, but you're breaking their legs. It just seems like unnecessarily violent.
They can't run to a call.
Oh, I fully understand where you're coming from, and I agree that we need to do something. But I think I would rather just outright kill someone than break their knees and leave them there.
My concern is more. These all seem to be people who have nature magic. They all seem to be druids. If we break their knees, can they then not just
Unbreak their knees.
turn into something that?
Oh, I see. We've got to break their hands as well.
I think anything with magic. If we can't remove the magic, we either need to
Break their jaws.
talk to them or kill them. It's one or the other. I do not.
It's easier to kill them.
Agus,
Yeah.
if we broke your knees and you turned into a cow, would your knees be broken as a cow?
I'd rather not try.
I'm sorry, I'm really interested in this rabbit hole now.
I have to say, never something I've experienced.
With us. It's highly likely. Okay, alright, we don't have to kill anybody, but we need to...
Break their knees.
They are druids, but they're not...
And their jaws.
They're not...
Maybe break one ankle and one of their hands. And also
Yeah.
knock out their teeth.
And their jaw, yeah. But if we leave them be, if we get to the top and someone calls for help, everyone we haven't dealt with will come. We're dead. And they are druids, but let's face it, they're not good druids, are they?
What are we trying to do once we get to the top?
We are going to steal back a crystal for the Martikovs.
But we don't know where this crystal is. We don't even know if it's actually at the top.
Well, that's a good point, actually. I was trying to come up with a good counter, but no, that's a good point. We don't know where it is.
All we know is there is a circle there is a wooden effigy.
The weed chili.
The weed chili.
The weird tree.
The weed
It's
tree.
your accent.
Fuck, this is exactly one of the many
Weird
reasons
chili.
why I put a fake accent on for so long.
But yeah, so the effigy or the circle are most likely what something of which to focus the energy or the magic. I really don't understand how this all works.
But these aren't the people that created those, whatever those monstrosities were. These aren't the people that corrupted the land. Or are they? I thought we were here to kill them.
I thought this was where the corruption was coming from.
It depends on the kind of corruption you're talking about.
I don't know in general terms, but there's certainly something very funny up there. I'd rather see the end of it.
Nagus, you know this magic. Does it feel like good magic? Do you trust it? What's taking place here?
I don't really understand whether it's good or bad, but it's certainly bad for the land. And I don't like it at all. It has to stop. It's it's hurting the land. I feel it. Yeah. I can't describe it.
Okay.
It's like it's arranged the land in the wrong way. It needs to be put right. Otherwise, the land can't be right. I don't know. I'm not good with words.
Okay. And
That was like good, Tom. Good. He's got limited information.
And okay, so from the descriptions that we've got at the top, are the circle and the effigy in the same kind of location? Are they separate? Kind of how are they placed?
Need paint. At the top is, when I say stone circle, what Magus will describe to you is more like a wall. It's tall and thick, and you can't see through it. Yeah. Well, no, because there's no gaps. So it is more of a wall. Yeah. And then inside that is another smaller circle, which is more like Stonehenge. And that's in that circle is the effigy.
Okay, so it's all contained in one place.
Then
would
beyond
we be able...
the circle is where you see these loads of dead trees with that black tall tree at the center of it.
Okay.
So
and
it's sort of, you get to the top and then there's a circle, and then if you walked through the circle or around it, you'd get to the trees.
So circle with tree and then tree circle.
The trees aren't a circle, they're just trees. It's just a big tree and then other trees around it.
Okay. So effigy is in one, trees are the other.
Yeah.
Does anybody know what the effigy is?
I mean, if I get a good look at it, I can try and think if I know a story about it or something.
Growing up, I heard of an island where they would build an effigy in the summer, and it was run by a cult. And they'd keep baskets of bees. Sorry.
What's a bee?
Have you ever drunk mead?
No.
Okay, so back home, so that bees are an insect that pollinate different flowers, and then they can produce this sweet sticky substance using the nectar that they collect, and we call it honey, and then that can then be made into a sweet kind of alcoholic drink. I look at you, Darzen, and I see mead. I
Well,
think
Alexander, I think your private education is showing.
Also pretty good for cuts. Helps keep them clean.
yes. So there was something. There was another version. It was clear that you could make from potatoes, and that was very good for treating cuts. I was never a fan of drinking that one.
Potato honey.
No. So those. Oh, you were talking about using honey to deal with cuts. Two very different approaches.
I've never heard of potato honey.
You're all gonna die.
Yeah.
So this probably isn't the best time to have this conversation either, but I just wanted you to know it took me a great deal of effort not to make a dirty joke during your explanation of what bees are.
Okay. Should we head up now?
Oh, I forgot I had this. Does this help?
You got to show me what the bee
Yes.
is. Oh. Well,
Where are
not
we?
Well, bees look funny.
So you're now on the second level, about to climb to the top level by the path.
Are we
So you're at
north, east, south, or west?
the north, where that path. You're on that path. I forgot that the Martikovs drew you that.
Okay.
Well, shall we just wind our way round then, rather than trying to climb up?
Well, let's not waste our surprise. Let's keep the momentum going.
Yes, we've had a bit of a lengthy conversation about talking ravens and bees, so we should probably just, try and make up for a bit of lost time.
Yes.
Yes, we shouldn't get distracted by the birds and the bees.
Well, for fuck's sake.
Shall I go first?
That's for Steve.
I will. Alexander will step up with Absence, and just as they're about to start climbing, he will say, "Absence. Once we get up there, I might do something quite stupid.
What?
I'm going to start climbing."
You're going
to follow.
Just before you started climbing, I'd like to say Darzen would have tapped you on the shoulder and go, "I've never been more disappointed in you than when you made that joke."
You don't know me very well.
You can use that one for your spell.
It doesn't work without the context. It's kind of funny, but mostly disappointing. But I have to tell a whole story beforehand. It's too complicated. I can't do that in. I feel like I have to do it in like 6 seconds, and that just wouldn't happen.
I don't think I get the joke.
6 seconds does seem an unreasonably short time to tell a story. It doesn't give you great options for jokes.
No.
Perfect length of time for the birds and bees there. I started on a joke and I gave up on it halfway through, and I was going to just make a joke about sex, but then I felt that I was being mean.
Well, to be fair, I've known a few people who didn't last 6 seconds.
Are you doing this stealthily as well, or are you just?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Then everyone give me both checks, please, and I'll assume you're keeping the same order unless you say otherwise.
I really would have liked to imagine that Dawson would have climbed up with him to continue this conversation, but no, he'll go last. Really, this is the first time I'm enjoying a conversation with these people. I'm not fucking going to stay here and wait this out.
Do you need me to roll a acrobatics or whatever I'm doing for climbing, or am I just allowed to use my climbing speed?
If you're doing it stealthily, let's still roll acrobatics, but I've bared your climbing speed in mind and made your DCs. much lower.
For some reason, I rolled stealth and perception rather than an acrobatics roll.
There is a wall of checks now for me to check through.
Yes, I'm very sorry.
How do you think I feel?
I made it so much worse.
Right, I'm going to start with Alessander. Alessander's at the top. You, final round of climbing. You're used to it now. You're fine. And where's your stealth?
My stealth
There it is,
was
18.
yeah, 18 and 22.
Then you will get to the top, and as you keep low to the ground at the top, it's quite. The lighting is not great, although it's daytime. That storm has cast a cloud over everything, and there's these occasional flashes of light, but that heavy downpour is obscuring visions, so you don't think you've been seen. Next, we have Absence. Absence. Where's your? I can see your stealth.
At the
Where's-
top. Acrobatics 15, stealth 21.
You're fine. You do the same. Next up is Magus. Magus. Acrobatics. You've learnt your lesson from last time. Very good. Stealth. Not done it before, but you have two very good examples to copy ahead of you.
Cussing under my breath as I go up, I guess.
And Mick is 7 acrobatics and 19 stealth.
He can barely
Okay.
throw his own weight, so he's
Yeah, it's he's doing a very good job of being quiet, but again, Darzin, would you like to make a dexterity check to try and catch Mick as he falls?
I think anybody who watches this will see like a lot of strain on Tarzan's face of like, I really don't want to, but I really have to, because that he's not here and I can't let him fall to his death when he's not here. It's a 10. So unfortunately he probably is going to.
No, you barely do it. I'm gonna give.
The coin.
No, it's 10. You meet it, you beat it, so you do it. Just. It's like in that time where you're contemplating whether you should save him, he takes a couple of bashes and then is next to you when you reach out with a hand. But you can all successfully make it to the top. Darzin, what was your stealth?
2020.
Oh, wow. All of you. You can now see you're all crouched low. Find maybe a rock. There are rocks lining this path to this stone hill, so you can Scooby-Doo it behind these rocks as you get to the top and don't think that you've been seen. And let me show you.
Ooh.
This is where you end up. And as we get to 10, it feels like we should probably stop there, unless there's anything you want to discuss in terms of planning for what you're about to do.
My suggestion is I sneak up, try and stun that nearest one, take him out fast. I'll stun him, you shoot him in the throat. And
Sounds
play
like
it
a plan.
smart.
That's not the effigy, by the way, that is just a tree.
Okay.
okay.
How's Magus feeling now that they're up close to this?
How is Magus feeling? There's this, the same feeling that you had before. It's that sort of, this isn't right. There's a sort of sickly feeling about the earth around here, but there's also a tiny bit of you that, I don't know, feels connected connected to it all. I mean, you feel connected to the earth anyway, but here in particular, there's a sense of, I don't know, home? Almost.
Starting to come round to your way of thinking, I think, Absence. You don't belong. You need to go. You don't belong here.
Oh, you're the reason I thought we were here to kill them.
I don't think I said kill him before, but
My experience in this place is people don't change their mind with a gentle persuasion.
well, if you say so. We have nothing to prove you wrong.
I mean, I'm happy to just knock them unconscious
No,
if that's what you want to do.
I think they need to be gone. They just need to be gone. The only way of getting rid of them for sure is to make them gone for good, permanent, like.
I'll sneak up on this first one. You'll know the signal when you see it. Yeah.
And I guess we'll do that next time, as it's 10.
Continue playing.
Thank you very much, everyone. That was fun.
Thank you, everyone.
It's accent. I mean, come out and start about its accent.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah?
Yeah,
I don't know why I
enjoyed
hadn't
it.
really planned for how you would climb that mountain. But it happened, and I think it was interesting.
Yeah, it was. I thought it was.
I was just waiting to see when the appropriate moment was to show everyone that I could shape shift. I nearly
Falling
volunteered
off a
to fly up in
mountain.
the first place, but I thought, well, no. And then I came to see how it was until it became relevant.
I like how you waited until Dawson was holding up someone who physically disgusts him, and then you just go, boom, and then just bang. It's like, are you fucking serious? It's like, you waited until now to make me go, oh, I have to save 2 people.
Thank you very much, guys. Yeah, again, I'm like, as you know, I've been worrying about this combat because
It's mean.
yeah. And we didn't even get to the main bit of it. You did the first wave, if you will, the climbing, which you did, to be fair, you managed really damn well. It's barely had an impact, so you're not going into this at too much of a disadvantage at all.
Yeah, we tried to play it smart and reserve our resources. Sneaky boys. Doing their thing.
Yeah, and you had an average of good rolls and stealth and everything as well.
Except for Alexander for the first, I don't know, 2.5 hours of the 3-hour game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was fine. He was spotted
He got
immediately
away
at
with
the
it.
bottom of the hill. Oh yeah, and you did give away the position at the top, at the second level. But yeah, we'll see what is happening inside this circle in 2 weeks' time.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Look forward to it. Thank you very much.
Cool, thank you.
Thank you.
I shall stop the stream.
Thank you
Bye,
for watching.
stream.
Bye.
That's